Good evening. Thank you for joining us for tonight's Village of Alsip board meeting. Today's April 16th, 2018. We'll call this meeting in order at 7:32. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Yes. Trustee McGreal? Here. Trustee Dalzell?
Here.
Trustee Pierce?
Here.
Trustee Zielinski?
Here.
Trustee Juarez? Here. Trustee McLaughlin?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Great. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll start the officer reports, starting with myself. Board, a couple of notes, a couple of events coming up I want to make everybody aware of, and certainly invite everyone to join us. Please mark in your calendars, this will be, Sertoma is having their big event of the year coming up. It's the what's known as the 2018 Heroes Cook-Off. This will come out for a spicy and fresh twist to Sertoma Center's 15th Annual Heroes Cook-Off on Saturday, May 5th, 2018, from 5 till 9 p.m. at Bourbon Street. The Heroes Cook-Off, they're going to have we have live music performed by the Kennedy Compound, hourly split the pot raffles, silent auctions, a Chinese raffle, I'm not sure what that is, but games and crafts for the kids, fun for the entire family. There is an admission cost that I don't see on here right now, but certainly we like to support everyone whenever Sertoma has an event. Hopefully everyone's available to participate in this. Next, the Illinois Economic Development Association will be holding their annual conference coming up. This year they selected Alsip for their venue. This will be June 14th and 15th at the Alsip Doubletree Hotel. This is a two-day event that they're going to have over there, and certainly all the village officials are asked to participate if they wish. Tons of valuable opportunities to learn, network, and grow positively await you at this conference. They're saying that they're going to have educational seminars with recognized economic development experts, upcoming legislative and industry updates, opportunities to meet state of Illinois officials, and networking events with economic development leaders. So again, if anyone's available for this, there is a fee that's associated with this. I believe it's, Becky, we see it was like $315, something like that for the 2-day. Okay. Next, again, May 4th is a breakfast with your legislators. This starts at 7:30 in the morning with registration and networking. 7:45 to 8:30 is a breakfast buffet. 8:30 till 9:30, legislator comments and Q&A. This is going to be held at the Giorgio Banquet Hall on 159th Street in Orland Park. It's $15 per person to attend this. And we are a member of the Southwest Conference of Mayors, who is sponsoring this event. So if the trustees are interested in participating, please let us know. We can be billed for this event yet, too. Next, I had on here, we discussed this maybe a month ago, and I actually did make a list for everybody, if they like, regarding bills that typically the trustees approve that may not need necessarily trustee authorizations per month when it comes to so fixed costs like contracted costs that the village has. Let's say with cell phones, water and road and bridge copier machine, like leasing agreements. Police department has a copier that they lease. Loans for big equipment, like we've got loans for fire trucks and front-end loaders and whatnot. The clerk and the finance department have a copier that need to be paid every month. Cable, water, electricity. If there's an $8,000, I'm sorry, what was this? Oh, City of Chicago, that's our water bill. There's an $8,000 fee if we're late paying that. So the gas service, the phone service, these are bills that, either utilities or have consistent monthly payments that don't change from month to month, more or less. If everyone's okay with that, we'd like to have these just processed by the department heads and submitted to payroll, to the accounts payable department for final payment.
Why the change?
Just a simplified paperwork. Like anything else, sometimes getting the trustees in to sign all the bills sometimes became a little bit difficult. I mean, the trustees are approving most of the bills, but these ones here, it seemed like it would streamline their process just a little bit yet, too. In other words, it's just one less bill that you're responsible for signing. If the trustees want to keep doing it, that's fine. We're trying to simplify the process.
I don't mind seeing the bills, and I don't think that we've been remiss with regards. I mean, that we've missed a couple of meetings here and there, but that's only of late. We rearranged the meeting schedules to go back to 4 in a month, so I don't understand why that was.
I'm sure it was I'm sure, like you said, we ran into a couple of difficult spots. That's probably what triggered this, the request anyway. But if all the trustees, if you want to stay with approving bills, that's fine. We were just trying to streamline this. That's all.
Can I weigh in on the utility
Sure.
bills? There are some bills that have been missed. We've lost. I think Dan, you've lost Comcast, which is their internet service out there before, which has caused some problems. With regards to the City of Chicago water bill, that one's hundreds of thousands of dollars, and if you're 1 minute late, the penalty is actually in the 4 digits.
How much time do they give you to pay that bill?
Not
Comcast is net 10 days.
net,
From the time we receive it?
Yes.
net 10 days, and the other thing is, with regards to utility bills, I would actually now add FedEx and UPS because those have also gone to net 10 days starting this year.
Yeah.
Who's negotiating our
you-
terms on this?
What?
Who negotiates our terms?
They did that. I believe they did that nationwide.
Yeah, but at the same point in time as by state, it mandates the number of days that the municipality has to pay the bills. I'll bet you Comcast doesn't turn people off after 11 days. If they're net 10, they don't turn them off at 11.
We have lost service due to not paying them.
Where was the fault? Was it on the trustees? Did a bill get missed, or did a bill not get to the trustees?
That's the difficult part. I mean, when you're talking about tracking when these come in, when they get to my desk, when they get to your desk, it takes a while to get around for all the 5 people that need to sign them.
The other thing is, what we're not proposing is not giving you the bills. We're just saying that certain bills that we never quite, no one has ever said, I didn't use that amount of therms, I used a different amount of therms. The bills that are the routine utility bills, no one ever said AT&T, I didn't make that call or whatever it is. The utility bills that are very routine, that we have the authorization to pay those in advance of you signing it. They'll still go through the signing process. You will still see the bills, and should there be anything wrong with those bills, these are existing services that we use. We can still go back and say, hey, look, we paid you on this, but we've looked at this bill and it doesn't make sense.
Right. I apologize. That wasn't what I had heard.
No, we would still be putting those bills forward for a signature. We're just asking that certain bills that we have the ability to pay, these routine bills, AT&T, Nicor, the ComEd's competitor for some of our things, those types of bills. FedEx and UPS is very low dollar amounts, but they just moved to net 10, so we'd add those. Comcast. And then City of Chicago, which is the only one that is not small dollar amount, is absolutely huge, but you never want to be a minute late on that one. They give you no leeway.
I think the more oversight, the better, and I don't see why we should change because we're here more often now. To approve the bills, I want to be able to continue the process.
Yeah, and for your thing, if it is truly net 10 and the City of Chicago is an issue or whoever, and it's a normal routine bill that's going to be paid regardless, to pay that on time, I have no problem with paying it on time. I'd just like to make sure that we see the bills so that we're looking at budget, we're looking at expenditures, and
We're not talking about not having you see or sign any bills. Every single bill would still come. These routine ones, we would be looking at having the ability, if we need to pay them before you sign. And again, should there be an issue with a ComEd bill or a Comcast bill, we can still come back and say, hey, we have an issue with this.
But then
in
we're
those
signing
particular
our
bills-
signature to a bill that's already been paid after the fact.
you don't sign that bill, come back to us and say, I have a problem with this Comcast bill, and then we'll call Comcast. Don't sign it. But that particular bill will have been paid, it could be paid at that point, but we would still have the ability to come back to them.
And if it's a routine invoice, then if there is an issue, we can always make that up on future invoicing. So
These aren't ones that are one-offs where someone's come in and done a service for us. This is every single month.
Right.
Bills. And I'll tell you, the other thing is, when I got here, I actually moved us to pretty far to the extreme of trying to get everything signed. Most of the bills, when I got here, were signed after the fact, and I did not like that. I actually went and said, we got it to above 90%. There's always somebody who says, look, I didn't let someone know about training. But it was down below 50%. When you were signing bills, well,
I disagree. I was here.
And I'm telling you that that's the way it was. And
I think we're going to lose more oversight. The more oversight, the better. I think we can lose a lot more by not seeing them regularly when we're here.
You would see them.
But I don't want to have you ask me to vote on something that I haven't seen already and it's already paid.
That's what you did for the first 8 years you were on this board.
No, I didn't. I looked. What do you think? The bills. And I don't think you can say that about me because you weren't even here.
He's saying that was the process.
Process when I got here.
Right.
We never did it this way that you're recommending.
Concern I had would be with like the AT&T, the acquisition of hardware, all sorts of stuff.
It doesn't have to be decided tonight. Do you guys want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk more about it, otherwise, if everyone's, even just to sign the hands, if everybody's going to agree with it, let me know, and we'll move that way. If not, we'll leave it the way it is or talk more about it another day.
I'd like to see potentially a prepared list of the items that would go this route.
I've got them right here.
And then,
You have them?
Can you distribute that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
thanks, Jim.
perhaps at the next Finance Committee meeting, we can talk about this. Thanks.
Okay, so moving along, next item I wanted to bring up was just that I met today with representatives from BP gas station on Cicero. Also got calls last week, spoke with the representatives from the Speedway at 127th and Pulaski. Both establishments are interested in, while both establishments offer retail liquor sales right now, both establishments want to go to video gaming now at this point, which would mean a change in their status as far as classification. So they have to offer well, you don't have to buy liquor in a gas station to play video games. Part of the Illinois criteria is that you do have poured liquor available for such. So
Poured liquor? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Instead of packaged.
instead of just retail sales. So basically what I told both groups that I spoke with, I'd bring it up at tonight's meeting. If the board wants to hear presentations by both, we'll bring them in at the next committee meeting. If the board's not interested in having them make a presentation, I can save time on both behalves. But I just want to get a consensus as to whether or not you want to have presentations made at the next committee meeting regarding this action.
So they're both asking you to open a pour area?
Well, basically, they got to be in compliance with whatever the state of Illinois says as far as square footage is concerned and so forth. That's all on the state of Illinois, not
So
us.
I frequent the BP pretty much every couple of days just to get gas, and there's always one person working in there. I was just trying to figure out how this person's going to print lottery tickets, pour liquor, run the cash register, if, shut off the gas if should there be an emergency. I'm just saying.
I agree, and it's all in the compliance with the state to do something like that. Our duty would be to facilitate a change in classification from the liquor from retail sales to consumption, and it'd probably just be for beer and wine.
Yeah, and people usually drive to the gas station too, don't they? So then
Yeah.
you pour liquor and then you get back in your car. Just making a joke. Probably not a funny
So,
one.
you interested
I
in
was
having
just-
a...
I thought, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, please, I thought you said you weren't going to ask us for any more licenses for video gaming.
Not for
after-
cafes. And I did say there was a couple more people that didn't want to, at the time, they didn't have their place in mind, but that was just the other two guys. I'm talking about establishments. These are reputable establishments looking to increase their business.
How many gas stations currently have video gaming in Alsip?
Zero.
None.
It's the pilot.
It's a truck stop, and that's separate.
I apologize. You're right.
Yes.
The truck stop does the pilot at 127th and Kedzie.
It's a separate law. Completely
Right.
separate law.
Right.
For a truck stop.
So you said Speedway and 127th?
127th and Pulaski, the Speedway, and the BP at 122nd and Cicero.
They can come and present to me, but I'm a definite no on this.
Yeah, I'm not in favor of it either.
I'm not either. I'm also a no.
Okay, so I'll relay that. I told him I'll get back to him this week and let him know how the board felt about it. Again, these are businesses that have liquor already. Always keep in mind too, well, it might be different for our community because we haven't had this in here. I know nearby suburbs do have this component. I know the BP at 135th and Cicero's got it, and apparently the same representatives that called me about Speedway, they're going to be putting this into the Speedway gas station at Cicero and Midlothian Turnpike as well. So it's not that it's an entity that, it's not like it's a program that isn't familiar with these type of situations, because it is. But certainly, rather than wasting everybody's time on presentations, I didn't want to do any of that. But it is a revenue stream to the village. I mean, last year, the village currently right now has 12 establishments. With each establishment's got 5 machines. So out of those 60 machines right now, the village last year garnered almost $270,000 by allowing video gaming in town to help pay our bills. And while these businesses feel it may help their business or help them offset cost, because I know always the familiar topic, and I get this, I go to so many meetings, and Cook County is one of the toughest counties rather, to have a business because of taxes. Everyone tries to find ways to offset their cost. And so I felt it was a reasonable request, and which is why I brought it to the board this evening to ask if you'd consider this.
So you talked about those communities that presently allow that, and you said one: Chicago, Oak Lawn, Chicago Ridge, Worth, Hales Heights, Blue Island, Marina Park. Any of those communities have it?
I have not done a study. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
close to our community would just be Crestwood.
And just because it's a revenue stream doesn't necessarily mean it's the best choice or even a good choice.
Well, like right now, for instance, like in Midlothian, have a friend that just opened a new diner in that Ricky Rockets gas station that just opened on 147th and Cicero. And while he's got video gaming in his diner, in his steak and egger, not maybe 25, 50 feet away are gas pumps. So it's almost the same difference,
But
That's a separate component of the law with regards to truck stops. But this isn't.
It's all, I'm saying it's basically all on the same property is what I'm getting at. So, I mean, while it might not be a gas station that's offering it, it's the property right next door that is.
I mean,
On the same premises.
the board a long time ago, they allowed packaged liquors into a gas station, which wasn't necessarily a very popular aspect of it. And now it's going to be expanded to not only package, but have yourself a cocktail or pour and expand that component of the business. I mean, I get it, but there's those opportunities, and the boards in front of us, and this board has enhanced that opportunity for a lot of the businesses in town. So do we just keep on expanding it until infinity?
No, but I think kind of the same parallel argument would be, to be made on their behalf anyway, would be the same people that come in 7 days a week and buy $25 worth of lottery tickets, maybe they feel more confident, hitting a machine for the same difference. It's still gaming is what it is at the end of the day.
I mean, I don't see anybody walking to Speedway 127th and Cicero or 127th and Pulaski, 122nd Cicero, walking in, playing the machine, having a drink, and then getting in their car to drive home.
Like I said, nobody condones it, but if you could have the same situation like they do, geographically in Midlothian right now, where you can do that same thing on the same premises. You can walk into, it's called Slap Shots, is on the same property at that Ricky Rockets, and you can go walk in there to have a drink. Or, I'm sorry, if you have gaming, you're offering liquor at the same time. So even like the Steak and Egger.
Happens every place you go.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at, yeah. It's a new, it's a new concept, and which is why I brought it to the board tonight. Because certainly these folks I'm not calling folks up. These folks are calling me and asking for this kind of thing. So this is why it's my job to relay that to the board. It'd be selfish, and certainly the village is entitled to hear about programs like this if it means revenue. And that's what it is sometimes. It's just revenue.
And Mayor, I was kind of flip about the whole thing. I don't envy your position. I don't envy your position.
Right.
I understand that people come in here every day and ask you for these types of things, and you just have to bring it to us, and I'm just a no.
That's my job. Right.
Okay.
Thank you, Trustee. That's all I had for this evening. I'm sorry, and then we'll get down to the number one on your agendas. I had a request for approval to have the village attorney draft a resolution approving the use of permeable parking lot for Greif Containers, who are leasing 5 acres of land from the Water Reclamation District, as Greif will adhere to all other village building codes for compliance at the same time then too. So whether we ask for additional fire hydrants and whatnot, it will be done. And I know they're going to extend some of the current asphalt to accommodate more employees' cars as well too, but they're asking for a permeable, meaning large stone to park trailers onto, because they have to enhance their shipping and receiving. And that's all I had. Clerk Petzel, your report.
So can I ask you, what's the difference between so this actually isn't an ordinance, it's a resolution. So what's the difference between a resolution and an ordinance? So and hear my question here. So our ordinance right now says that, and by the way, I'm in favor of this. I'm okay with this. But our ordinance says that it's got to be paved. So a resolution is basically giving you a one-off.
It should be an ordinance.
Okay, that was my bad then.
So then how do you write it so that it doesn't contradict the other ordinance?
Well, you put right in there, it's a variation
Okay.
of code.
Okay. So it's variance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I stand corrected. I had the wrong word, resolution. It should say ordinance on there. All right, thanks, Trustee. Clerk Petzel, your report.
Thank you, Mayor Ryan. Presentation and request for approval of the minutes of the April 2nd, 2018 Village Board meeting. Request for approval of the March 2018 FOIA report. There was a total of 29 last month. We're already up to 20 this month. Yay. And item number 3 is request for approval of the IDOT motor fuel tax allotment for March 2018 in the amount of $37,453.01. And that's all, Mayor Ryan.
Thanks. Attorney's report, we have Mike Kankar with us tonight.
I have no report, sir.
All right, thank you. Engineer's report.
I have a recommendation of award of the pump station waterproofing to the low bidder, DN Tanks Incorporated, in the amount of $109,891.00. That's all I have.
No problem. I'm just going to ask the question. Hopefully it doesn't happen. They wouldn't have been on the work, but do they have local people on this, Dan? Or because I remember this is an out-of-town company, right?
They work nationally, so they move around quite a bit.
Okay. You looked, obviously.
They'll have subcontractors that are likely local, yes.
Okay. Where are these guys based out again?
I believe it's Massachusetts.
Massachusetts? Okay.
I believe it was out east as well.
All All right, thanks. Thank you, Joan. Public forum. Anyone in the audience wish to address the board on anything this evening? Sure, come on up. When you come up, you just state your name. You just put your address and so forth, or name and everything on there.
Karen Wacklewick, 11115 South LeClaire.
Okay.
With dispatch going over to Oak Lawn now, will this walk-up window be available to us, or what will be happening with that?
It will. Chief, you want to elaborate?
The walk-up window will be available during regular business hours, and after hours, there will be a phone up there that will connect directly to Oak Lawn Dispatch.
Okay.
Correct.
My other question is, during the past week, probably to 10 days, there were some phone solicitations about asking for donations for the police department pension. A lot of people didn't know if these were scams, what they were, and when I went on the website, there was nothing listed on the police website, and I just thought, in the past, if this happens again, isn't it always good to post something so the public knows?
Yeah, give us a call if you have anything like that. We'll confirm it for you. We haven't had any complaints with that. We did have the unions that was soliciting. I'm not aware of any solicitations for anything other than the union.
It was just, there was a group of us saying, do you know anything about this? And again, this is opposite of what the police department they always say they don't ask for solicitations over the phone, any money over the phone. So this was my only thing to make clear the next time this happens, because there were some people that wanted to do it, but then they were afraid that they said tape your check to the door.
Oh.
And it's like, well, they might just want your information off your check. So this is why I thought it was I was kind of taken back by this.
No.
Yeah, apparently there was two issues going on at the same time, and maybe somebody kind of jumped in on that to scam. But the MAP union was soliciting by phone.
Oh.
There was
during
a
the
third
last
party
month.
hired, correct?
Yeah, and then correct. And then apparently there might have been somebody who picked up on that at some point and then tried to start their own little.
So that's the MAP union is actually the union that represents our police
They had the
department.
right, they would have the right union number and everything, but a lot of people were kind of like, what is this? Because no one has had phone calls in a while soliciting money. So I just thought I'd bring it to your attention that the next time, if you can even put it on the police website.
Yeah, and I'll
upcoming
verify
events.
with the union tomorrow if they were in fact instructing people to leave it in their door or something. That's a
They
new
said
one.
tape it to your door. I
Tape it
thought
to the
that
door and
was
run away. Oh,
bizarre.
great. Oh.
I thought it was, but thank you.
Karen, thanks for bringing it up. Seriously, we'll get that out on our social media.
So just so I'm understanding right, the MAP union was soliciting for the police union pension?
It probably wasn't the pension. It was probably just further affiliation of the union, the MAP organization, not for the pension. We're not to that point yet for it.
What is the MAP union's number?
I believe it's 31.
That's the FOP.
Oh, FOP. Yeah, I'm not sure. Metropolitan Alliance of Police. That's what it stands for. I'm not sure what their number is.
Thanks for letting us know about that, Karen. We'll take care of that. Yeah.
The village, most importantly, the village is not soliciting anything. The pension fund is not soliciting anything. That's the most important thing to know.
Great. Anybody else? All right, thank you. Moving along then to our standing committee reports. Finance Committee, Trustee McGlowan.
I have a request for approval of a list of payroll dated April 13th, 2018, totaling $422,541.53. I also have a request for approval of accounts payable dated April 16th, 2018. From the recap, General Fund, $404,673.87. Road and Bridge, $5,408.83. MFT, $1,738.24. Pulaski Road Corridor TIF, $7,207.50. Water and Sewer, $593,238.71. Heritage 2, $37,485.37, for a grand total, all funds of $1,049,752.52. And that's all I have under finance.
A few dates, two different. But the
I figured I would talk about that later.
got it. Sorry.
All right. The fire report, Trustee McLaurin, and I did excuse the chief from being here this evening, too, just so you know.
I have a request for approval of the monthly activity report for March 2018. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. The police report, Trustee McGrail.
I have no report tonight.
Thank you. The public work and boat launch report, Trustee Juarez.
I have a request for approval of the March 2018 monthly activity report and request for approval to promote 2 public works employees for the position of Class 2 operator to the position of Class 1 operator. That's all, Mayor.
Thanks. Trustee, and again, I did excuse Public Works from being here this evening, too, just so you know. The building committee, Trustee Zelinski.
We're request for approval for the Alsip Little League to hold an opening day ceremony and parade to take place on April 21st, 2018 at 10 a.m. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to participate in that parade, they did move this year's location from Prairie Junior High. They had a scheduling conflict. That's going to leave off. It's from Stony Creek School, I believe, right? We said?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Trustee,
Yes.
Stony Creek, right? Okay. Stony Creek at 10 o'clock Saturday morning. It's going to go through the neighborhood and finish up at Grotto Field. Next on the list is the sewer and water report. Trustee Dalzell.
The request for approval to hire 4 part-time summer personnel for a period not to exceed 14 weeks, and also the request for approval for the purchase of the Census FlexNet VGB vehicle gateway at a cost not to exceed $18,000. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. And again, Dan, this is the unit for the vehicle that helps read the meters?
Correct.
Okay. Obviously, we're saving time on physical efforts, walking up and down the street and stuff then, too.
Certainly.
Gotcha. Very good. License Committee, Trustee Juarez.
I have a request for approval of a list of licenses dated March 28th through April 6, 2018. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you. The Economic Development Committee, Trustee Pierce.
I have a request for approval of the March 2018 activity report. That's all, Mayor.
All right, thanks. The Plan and Zoning Committee, Trustee Zelinski.
No report tonight, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Special Committee reports, Village Properties, Trustee McLaurin.
No report.
All right, thanks. The Insurance Committee, Trustee McGrail.
I have a request for approval for the renewal of the workers' compensation with the Horton Group from time period of 5/1/18 to 5/1/19, as was presented on the meeting of 4/9/18, and that would be a total of $670,514. Unless Peach is here from Horton, if anyone has any further questions.
Would the ending date actually be 4/30 of 19?
I think
No.
it's the first.
First to
It's the
first?
first.
Yes.
It is
Okay.
the first. Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
That's all that I have.
The Ordinance Legislation Committee, Trustee Pierce.
We have a request for approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 19 Traffic and Motor Vehicles, Article 4, Motor Vehicle Licenses, Section 19-59, Fees of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip. And we have a request for approval of an ordinance vacating a portion of 129th Street west of Costner Avenue in the Village of Alsip, Cook County, Illinois.
Do you want me to mention it? I think there was a request, Trustee Pierce, to pull the first item because we're meeting tomorrow with the presiding judge of the 5th District, and this is one of the topics, and they may not want us to even do these things on the village's traffic calls, so we're waiting.
This is licenses.
Lower
Licenses.
under.
That one's
Oh, is it?
lower.
I'm sorry.
That one's
That's
lower
okay.
down.
This is vehicle sticker fees.
I apologize for that.
Although the residents probably would like this pulled and not.
Excuse me, I apologize.
No problem.
And then number 2, Trustee.
Yeah, I read it. I already read it.
I'm sorry, I was making a note here. Thank you. The Information Technology Committee, Trustee Dalzell.
No report, Mayor.
You know what, Trustee, I apologize. I actually just had a meeting right at the end of the day today with our IT manager, Brian Massari, and just so all the trustees understand, and the public for that matter too, apparently the archiving of our audios, like on all of our previous meetings from years past, is eating up an excessive amount of storage on our drive that we on our cloud system that we're doing. We could buy, more space to keep the audio on there, but it might be a couple $1,000s a year to do something like that. What he wants to do is actually, we can have it archived in house if somebody wants to FOIA the actual sound. The minutes will always be available online, so you can always grab minutes from any meeting going back that's archived. But even videos are going to just be like per year is what we're going to do, because we have to be conscious of obviously cost, but the fact that it's eating up so much of our storage space in there right now. So if you were to go on our website right now and you wanted to pull anything up, you'll get the minutes, but you won't get the video that's archived. He's got it in house. If somebody FOIAs out, you can get the. I apologize. I keep using the word video. The audio. You can get the audio from years past, because we just started doing the video in the past year or so, year or two. Prior to that, we didn't have video.
I would think the audio would be pretty minor in size, and really the whole thing comes down to is what's the retention schedule for the village for those items.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if we can talk more about this later. Right now, it's he just said that it's eating up too much of the storage and so forth in our cloud right now.
Well, maybe next time we have a committee meeting, IT can actually show up, and we can have some of the discussions that we've talked about.
That'd be fine. I'll let him know tomorrow when I see him.
We can make shorter meetings, too.
Human Resources, Trustee McGrill.
I have no report unless, Shanae, do you have any updates? Okay. Did the Accident Review Board meet?
The Accident Review Board meeting is tomorrow at 1.
Okay, thank you. That's all that I have.
Health and Pollution Committee, Trustee Pierce.
No report, Mayor.
The Traffic Safety Committee, Trustee Dalzell.
In the interest of brevity, I'll have no report.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Dizal.
Any presentations, petitions, or communications, trustees?
I'd just like to congratulate District 126. They're one of 8 school districts on the south side that made the ISBA's actual watch list for 2 years straight, having a perfect 4.0 scale for finances.
Nice.
It's good to. I mean, it's good for our community to know that
Right.
district's in really sound financial shape.
Thank you. Okay, so nobody else. All right. Any items from the consent agenda you wish to remove, trustees?
I'd like to remove A.
All right. Any others? All right. Thank you. Then,
Motion to establish the consent agenda.
Second.
You guys are moving way too fast. You're motivated.
Reading up cloud storage.
Motion to establish the consent agenda. The only item removed is letter A. Trustee McGrill.
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Pierce.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Motion carries to establish.
very good. Can I get a motion and a second to
I'll make a motion to approve the consent
Approve.
agenda.
Second.
Second.
Sorry, somebody beat you over here.
Yeah.
Okay, roll call number 2 to approve the consent agenda as presented, filling in some missing information. Again, letter A has been removed. Letter F, approval of a list of payroll dated April 13th, 2018, totaling $422,541.53. Approval of a list of accounts payable dated April 16th, 2018, totaling $1,049,752.52. Letter N will be known as ordinance number 2018-04-2. Letter O will be known as ordinance number 2018-04-3. Roll call number 2. Trustee McGrill.
Yes. Clerk, do we need to put the amount in for M for workman's comp that we didn't have on there?
Okay.
To add the 670,514.
Adding detail to letter M, approval for the renewal of workman's compensation with the Horton Group from May 1st, 2018 through May 1st, 2019, as presented on April 9th, 2018, totaling $670,514 even. Thank you, Trustee McGrill.
Thank you.
Motion to approve. Trustee McGrill?
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Pierce?
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve.
Very good. We'll go back to an item that was removed from the consent agenda. It was letter A. Approval to have the village attorney draft, and we're going to correct that word to ordinance. Approving the use of a permeable parking lot for Greif Containers who are leasing 5 acres of land from the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, as Greif will still adhere to all other village building codes for compliance. Trustee McGrill, you pulled it? You have a question?
No question. I'd just like a separate vote, Mayor.
All right.
I'm sorry. Mr. Kankar, should it be approval to have the village attorney draft an ordinance variance?
Ordinance is fine.
Ordinance is fine? Okay. Thank you. Roll call number 3 to approve.
Well, we need a motion in a second,
Sorry.
please.
Second.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I'm sorry. Roll call number 3 to approve letter A. Approval to have the village attorney draft an ordinance approving the use of a permeable parking lot for Greif Containers who are leasing 5 acres of land from Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, as Greif will still adhere to all other village building codes for compliance. Trustee McGrill.
No.
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Pierce.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-1.
Very good, thank you. So moving along, we had some unfinished business. Was that Trustee Pierce?
Right, but this is what the attorney said we were going to pull off the agenda.
I motion that we table this to the next board meeting, pending the results from the village attorney.
Second.
I'll second.
Roll call. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
I'm
Trustee
sorry.
McGrill. Did you have something?
No, sorry.
It's okay. Roll call number 4, motion to table the unfinished business, which is the approval of an ordinance to amend Chapter 19, Traffic and Motor Vehicles, Article 1, in General Section 19-2, State Law adopted of the Village of Alsip Municipal Code. Trustee McGrill?
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Pierce?
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
Motion carries to table.
Mayor, I had one other thing under unfinished business, if I can.
Under what?
Unfinished business.
It's not on the agenda, but go ahead. What were you going to bring up?
I just wanted to ask
Yes.
what the feeling of the board or consensus of the board was regarding the property and casualty insurance. Some board members had said that they might want to go out for other pricing. Is that still the feeling or not? So we know if we need sealed bids or not.
I think we should bring it up at a committee meeting in case there's further discussion on that. I don't think it's not on the agenda for a vote of any type.
No, just wanted to know for the
Then-
committee meeting so we could prepare for it.
I'd rather have it just brought up at a committee meeting then.
Okay. Everyone can think about it then for next week.
2 weeks.
Right.
Committee meeting is in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
End of the month.
Thank you.
Also, under unfinished business, Mayor, I failed to get it on the agenda for tonight, but I'll be scheduling a special board meeting to take place immediately before our committee meeting on April 30th. We discussed it last week at committee, and I missed it on the agenda in terms of the budget.
Oh, yeah, the amendment?
Amendments.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So we will actually need to vote on that, so it'll be a special board meeting.
Right. So again, folks, that's just an adjustment to some of our revenue before the end of the fiscal year on May 1st, so that's why we need to clean that up.
Expenditures.
I apologize, expenditures, right. All right, thanks, trustee.
All right, and our finance director is asking for an additional meeting.
That's right.
Afraid you get lonely on Monday. You'd waste a whole Monday. I'm requesting and I don't know if it's a finance committee, if other members who aren't on the finance committee would show up, or if it's a committee of the whole under finance. Either way, I'm requesting a full board to talk. We have a sustainable retiree benefit funding policy that needs to be passed before the end of May. It's a complicated topic. We've talked a little bit with this board. We talked more with members who were in the prior board, but it's a fairly complicated topic, and it needs to be passed before the actuary does the report, which is mid-June, late May, mid-June. So I'm going to say it needs to be done before May. Not doing that will likely raise our liabilities on our balance sheet to, it's a statement of net position, but it's essentially a balance sheet by literally millions of dollars. It is that big of a deal that I am putting, I'm still working on the budget stuff, but it is, the timing-wise, it comes sooner than the budget has to be, and as soon as we want the budget. But the budget doesn't change the balance sheet. This materially changes the balance sheet in millions of dollars. So it's something that if we don't get passed by then, we will have millions of additional liabilities.
Trustee,
In order to, it's such a complicated topic, we may need more than one meeting, but I would request that at 6:30 next Monday, which is a Monday we wouldn't normally have a meeting, that we have a full meeting that day to at least start the conversation.
I'm in Boston all next week.
You, however, is the one person who probably knows this topic better than anyone else. So I would still give you it. The materials I'm preparing for this are rather extensive, and I'll warn you in advance of that. We will go through it, so you don't need to know all of it, but I will definitely give you the materials, and you're going to be able to comprehend all of that.
if the chair agrees, obviously Trustee McLaurin, it'll be up to you to submit a request for a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to make sure everybody potentially is available.
So a
or
finance committee
agreeable.
meeting or a committee of the whole?
I think since you just had one member of a four-person finance committee just say they are not going to be here, that puts a lot of pressure on all the other three to show up. I would suggest a committee of the whole finance.
All right. With that in mind, also, I'm not going to be able to make it. Monday's the only day I'm not going to be available in the evening.
Which is, that's why he's saying that, to go to a one of the whole.
If
It should just be committee of the whole then, right?
it should be committee of the whole, but he's saying that he's not available on Monday,
On Monday.
either. If I can do any other day, I thought Monday would be the convenient one because we're used to being here every Monday. You want to make it Tuesday, want it to Thursday, you want to make it Saturday. I'll do any and all days that we can do. But this is a really, really important topic, and we do need to do it. Probably more than once. If there's another day that works.
So, Mike, you're only not available on Monday?
At this time, yes.
Can we do Tuesday at 7? Is that agreeable? Okay. I'll put on a notice for next Tuesday at 7.
Thank you.
All right.
Mary, I have one more.
We were still at the, any new business?
Well, I still have unfinished business, but it's just for discussion. Last Monday night, you were going to get a legal opinion on the Gatso contract, and at 1:30 this afternoon, unsolicited, all of us trustees received a trove of documents and things from Rich Cosina at Gatso, one of which shows that I mean, he's pretty clear here. He watched. He even stated in his email that he watched last Monday night's meeting, and he sent us all of these documents that basically, in his opinion, state that their contract is through July of 2019.
Right.
You were going to get a legal opinion on that because we had knew that this was their opinion. Did you happen to get that opinion?
Actually, I did ask for it last week. Trustee, long story short, I got together with I checked all of our files, because the thing I wanted to really double check was, what have we physically approved, as far as documents go? So I double checked with the clerk's office to see and I've got what they've got, and basically what they had was, we do have a signed contract that the board did agree to extend service with that company in 2016, which the previous mayor approved. However, on that document, which I made copies for everybody too, I'll hand them out if everybody wants, but there was actually an A and a B option on there. Okay, neither was was actually identified as far as what we were going to do, because one was identified, if we were to extend our contract to 2019, as if we put up additional cameras. We didn't do that. So, that's where the contract gets extended. I actually shared that with our attorney, Mike Hankar, this evening, and this is by interpretation, because the previous police chief submitted, and that's what all those documents that you saw today was based on my request from last week to GATSO, and what they sent back was an email from our previous police chief saying that it would be his. I'm sorry, Mike, you got that document I gave you?
No, I gave it back to you. Sure.
Here it is. I got it right here. So what it did was, you know what? Can you pass those out? Yeah, I made everybody a copy real quick, just so we physically had something in front of you. What happened was, in April 6th of 2016, the Chief Rads at the time sent out an email that said that he's proposing installation of additional red light cameras at 115th and Cicero, both northbound and southbound. That's all it says here, is I'm proposing the installation of this. And then, as the timeline follows, that's April 6th, 2016. July 6th, 2016, Mayor Kitching at the time signed an agreement, which I was part of the board at the time, that as a trustee, and if everyone notes on page 2 there, that notwithstanding anything to the contrary, the parties mutually agree to A, extend the term of the agreement for 3 years to July 29th, 2019, should the village request and GATSO agree at least 30 days prior to July 29th, 2018, to install one or more additional cameras. Letter B is to extend the term of the agreement for 2 years to July 29th, 2018, should the village not request or GATSO not agree to install additional cameras as contemplated in letter A. Neither is signified what the intent is, and nor do we have any board approval to say what was going to be done or either. So I think this is all by interpretation right now, is what everybody's talking about. And the email that that GATSO sent to everyone today, obviously on page 3 here, he's got some of the correspondences where he brought, where GATSO brought, this is back in August of 2017, where he brought Deputy Chief Schultz up to speed on any kind of discussions. My email with their engineers from last month, where they wanted to get us to approve installing more cameras, and I asked them to hold off until the board decides whether or not we're going to continue using their service. And then Trustee Pierce, you had a note earlier on page 5, where this is actually our invoice from last month that identified 443 violations, which was in contrary to what the email suggested, that there was more billing going on, and this was their invoice to us. So the email that we received today actually enhanced this number by 90 violations. The month before, now that's for March, we actually issued 443 violations. In February, we issued 213 violations. And then in January, we issued 192 violations. And even as far back as December recently, we issued 248 violations. So none of these numbers, like per month anyway, corresponded with the number that we were shown on the email that I copied that we all received today saying that 534 citations were approved and mailed on the village's behalf by GATSO in March. I didn't see it. And then I underlined on here, too, just to kind of respond to some of the language that was on here, that when a month starts, upfront fees is what he referred to. This is his email to us, upfront fees, GATSO. When the month starts, the amount owed to GATSO is nothing. At the end of the year, with 0 tickets issued, the village would owe nothing. Well, of course, that would only make sense. But then his comment in here that a competitor, Alsip, besides their $500 a month per month fee for cameras, which we've got 4 in town, which they would charge the village $40 per ticket issued, whether paid or not, and also they'd also charge for every one that the police department rejects, which is why I copied on here would be the last page that you're looking, or second to last page, that Alsip put in their paperwork. Alsip's fees is paid per transaction, but is only paid by the municipality when payment is received from the traffic violator who's paying his or her citation. So it's in contrary to that. And then again, I put an answer when they said that you owe them nothing at the beginning of the month. He's got on here, like I said, upfront fees. When the month starts, the amount owed to GATSO is nothing. Well, in their own, the copy that you're looking at here for the fee payment, GATSO shall provide an itemized monthly invoice to the village within 10 days of the first day of business of the month. Thereafter, each bill issued by GATSO, payment will be due within 30 days from the date of invoice. Any amounts not paid by the village when due shall bear interest at the rate provided by applicable state law. So I just wanted to kind of answer to the email that we were all given today. The representative from GATSO sent that out to everybody. Originally, like I said, last Thursday, I met with Deputy Chief Schultz, who handles most of all of our red light camera citations, or violations, and which is why we are here today with all the information coming back to us. So to answer your question, Trustee, yes, we are getting all the information together, but I think, unfortunately, I think it's going to take one more session for legal to review what I just showed Mike this evening, and basically digest, unless you feel there should be something else added, Mike.
Well, I just looked at that in kind of in a vacuum, 2 minutes before the meeting.
Right, so I'm going to give him a chance to really look at this.
I don't want to.
Right.
Yep.
I'd feel uncomfortable giving some sort of big opinion on something you've been talking
Sure.
about for months.
No, and we've done a lot of talking about this, and yes, to be fair, there is it's a contradiction between GATSO and this invoice here, without a doubt. But last week we kind of said enough. Let's take it to a vote, but we didn't want to go to a vote until we legally knew we could take it to a vote. Are we under contract with them or not? That's the question.
I agree, and I wanted to really find out where our liability stood. What are we responsible for, period. And that's where we're at right now then, too. So we'll have more of a definitive answer for everybody at our next meeting. This way, we can really get a grip on where we stand with these and stuff then, too. So,
thank you.
For me, I have that.
Sure, Mike, no problem. I've got more of that. So next on the list, I had on here, I requested a couple of closed sessions, and number one on here was a request to enter into a closed session to discuss collective negotiating between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees pursuant to Article 5 ILCS 120/2, Chapter 2, and then second on the list was a request to enter into closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel of the public body to determine its validity pursuant to Article 5 ILCS 120/2, Chapter 1. I would need a motion and a second to do that.
Are we going to do any vote on any of these items?
No.
So should we adjourn to executive session?
I'm sorry, I apologize, trustee. We are going to adjourn to a closed session.
Okay. Then I would move.
Second.
Roll call number 6 to adjourn to closed session. Trustee McGrill?
Yes.
I'm sorry, it's roll call number 5. Trustee McGrill?
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Pierce?
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez? Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn to closed session.
Thank you very much, folks. As the trustee pointed out, we will not be voting on anything else this evening, and we appreciate your attendance. Have a great evening. We'll adjourn to closed session at 8:33.
What's that?